just 2 weeks ago talking to you guys. You're probably tired of this. But I wasn't thinking about how we were coming up on this anniversary, and I think we need to kind of celebrate that a little bit. You know, we've been doing this for 5 years. And again, I'll say that you guys are kind of the heart and soul of our men's ministry here at Dunwoody. You're the ones that show up and do stuff and spread the word among the congregation, and we thank you for that. We couldn't do it without you. And so how many of y'all were here on the first day 5 years ago today? Well, that's good. All right. So give yourselves a round of applause, please. All right. So a lot of you obviously are new, and a lot of you, if you're anything like me, are somewhat forgetful. Okay. So I want to do a little review of the origin and meaning of our best man name. How and why was it selected, and what does it mean? So if you don't know the first thing about the name, what might come to mind is the Army recruiting slogan about be all you can be. And that's not a bad slogan, okay? If that's what you think that Best Man is all about, that's okay. You know, it means be the best version of the man you can imagine, be intentional about your discipleship, do what Jesus did and does, which might not and probably is quite different from what we feel like doing and what the world around us would have us do. If that's what you think best man means, that's okay. It works. Carry on. But about 5.5 years ago, the half dozen of guys that were trying to figure out what men's ministry might be here at Dunwoody decided to do this Bible study, and we said we need a name. And so there were numerous suggestions, and in full disclosure, Best Man was my suggestion. And there were probably a lot of what do you mean? Why do you want that? And but I have I think they finally decided, look, if we don't give in, he's just going to keep at it. Okay, so okay, we'll do Best Man. How's that sound? So but it wasn't because we're Army guys, but because there's a biblical foundation for it. Okay. This book, probably a lot of you have read it, Purpose Driven Life. If you haven't read it, you should read it. I highly recommend it. In the Purpose Driven Life, on page 88, at least in this edition, in chapter 11, and the chapter is called Becoming Best Friends with God. A lot of us kind of don't think we're supposed to be best friends with God, but Rick Warren would say otherwise, and I agree. Anyway, Jesus says, I no longer call you servants because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends, for everything that I have learned from the Father I have made known to you. This is in John 15:15. The word for friend in this verse does not mean a casual acquaintance, but a close, trusted relationship. The same word is used to refer to the best man at a wedding and the king's inner circle of intimate, trusted friends. In royal courts, servants must keep their distance from the king, but in the inner circle of trusted friends, enjoy close contact, direct access, and confidential information. I wanted to read this book. This might. I forgot this one. Also in John 3:13, I believe. No, 3:29. Now this is John the Baptist in the book of John saying, the bride belongs to the bridegroom, the friend who attends the bridegroom. You know who that is, right? Waits and listens for him, and it is full of joy when he hears the bridegroom's voice. So that's us best men kind of guys. And so the Bible is full of references and parables and whatnot about weddings. Jesus' first miracle is the changing water into wine at the wedding at Cana. There's the parable about the 10 virgins waiting for the bridegroom, and the parable of the king who sends out his servants to invite all who will come to the feast. And so, but mostly what I'm thinking about is Revelation 19, 7-9. For the wedding of the Lamb has come, and his bride has made herself ready. Blessed are those who are invited to the wedding supper of the Lamb. We will all be at that wedding. And I want to be the best man, because I think I'm Jesus' best friend. But you know, you've probably known people in your life who you say, well, Billy was my best friend. Well, it turns out everybody who knew Billy said, I was Billy's best friend, because he's just that kind of person. All right. I've had that experience. So it is with Jesus. He wants to be best friends with us all. We can all be the best man of Jesus at the wedding. What an honor. What a privilege. Thanks be to God. Amen. By the way, this theology is of the not Reverend Patrick T. Morgan. Okay, but I think it holds up to scrutiny. I ask that you direct questions about theology to the clergy. In that first century, the Christians in Rome who were expecting Jesus back any minute might have said to each other, "Te in nuptis," see you at the wedding. I think we could use that same phrase today. We found out it took a little longer, but it still applies. We'll see you at the wedding. You can greet one another, and when you come here, you can say, "Te in nuptis." See you at the wedding. Thank you.
Hey, Pat. Hey, Pat, you forgot your